In the beginning, God created a beautiful garden called Eden. This garden was unlike any other place on earth. It was a paradise filled with vibrant colors, lush greenery, and an abundance of life. Every plant, tree, and flower was meticulously crafted, and the air was filled with the sweet fragrance of blooming flowers. Rivers flowed gently through the garden, providing crystal-clear water to nourish the land. Birds sang melodious tunes, and animals roamed freely, living in perfect harmony. Eden was a place of peace and tranquility, a true reflection of God's love and creativity. He made the first man, Adam, and the first woman, Eve, to live there. Adam and Eve were created in God's own image, and they were given the responsibility to care for the garden and all its inhabitants. They were the stewards of this paradise, entrusted with the task of maintaining its beauty and balance. Adam and Eve were not just caretakers, they were also companions to each other, sharing a deep bond of love and trust. They were the first family, living in perfect unity and harmony with each other and with nature. They had everything they needed and were happy. Every day was filled with joy and wonder as they explored the garden, discovering new plants and animals. They enjoyed the fruits of the trees, which provided them with nourishment and delight. They had no worries or fears, for they were under God's protection and care. Their lives were simple, yet fulfilling, and they found contentment in the beauty and abundance that surrounded them. They spent their days walking hand in hand, marveling at the wonders of creation and giving thanks to God for His blessings. One day God told them, "You can eat from any tree in the garden, but not from the tree of knowledge." This tree stood in the center of the garden, its branches heavy with fruit that looked both tempting and mysterious. God explained that the tree of knowledge was special, and eating its fruit would open their eyes to the knowledge of good and evil. It was a test of their obedience and trust in Him. God wanted them to choose to follow His guidance willingly, to show their love and faithfulness by respecting His command. The tree was a symbol of their free will, a reminder that they had the power to make choices and the responsibility to choose wisely. If you do, you will die. This warning was not just about physical death, but also about the spiritual separation from God that would result from disobedience. God wanted to protect them from the consequences of sin, which would bring pain, suffering, and ultimately death. He wanted them to live in the joy and peace of His presence, free from the burden of guilt and shame. God's command was an expression of His love and care, a way to keep them safe and happy in the paradise He had created for them. But a sneaky snake came and tricked Eve into eating the forbidden fruit. The snake, which was more cunning than any other creature, approached Eve with deceitful words. It questioned God's command, planting seeds of doubt in her mind. "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" the snake asked. Eve replied, "We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God said, 'You must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it, or you will die.'" The snake, with its sly and persuasive tone, said, "You will not certainly die, for God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." The temptation was too great for Eve to resist. She reached out, took the fruit, and ate it. Then she gave some to Adam, who was with her, and he ate it too. In that moment, their eyes were opened, and they realized they were naked. They felt a deep sense of shame and guilt, emotions they had never experienced before. They felt ashamed and hid from God. The once harmonious relationship they had with God was now broken. They sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves and hid among the trees of the garden, hoping to escape God's presence. But God, who is all-knowing, called out to them, "Where are you?" Adam replied, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." God asked, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" Adam blamed Eve, saying, "The woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree, and I ate it." Eve, in turn, blamed the snake, saying, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." God found them and asked what happened. They apologized and explained. God listened to their explanations, but He also knew the gravity of their disobedience. He pronounced consequences for their actions. To the snake, He said, "Because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock and all wild animals. You will crawl on your belly, and you will eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel." To Eve, He said, I will make your pains in childbearing very severe. With painful labor you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you." To Adam he said, "Because you listened to your wife and ate fruit from the tree about which I commanded you, you must not eat from it. Cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil you will eat food from it all the days of your life. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you will return." God forgave them, but had to send them out of the garden to keep them safe. The paradise they once knew was now lost to them. They were banished from Eden and had to face the harsh realities of the world outside. The ground, once fertile and easy to cultivate, was now cursed, and they had to work hard to grow their food. Life became a struggle, filled with pain and hardship. But even in their punishment, God's love and mercy were evident. He made garments of skin for Adam and his wife and clothed them, providing for their needs even as they faced the consequences of their actions. As they left, God promised to always be with them and guide them. He assured them that His presence would never leave them, and He would continue to watch over them. This promise gave them hope and strength to face the challenges ahead. They knew that despite their mistakes, God's love for them remained steadfast and unchanging. They carried this promise in their hearts, a beacon of light in the darkness of their new reality. Adam and Eve learned that even when we make mistakes, God loves us and wants us to come back to Him. Their story is a powerful reminder of God's grace and forgiveness. It teaches us that no matter how far we stray, we can always return to God's loving embrace. Their journey was one of growth and learning as they came to understand the depth of God's love and the importance of obedience and trust. They realized that true happiness and fulfillment come from living in harmony with God's will. That's the story of Adam and Eve. Their tale is not just a story of disobedience and punishment, but also one of redemption and hope. It shows us that even in our darkest moments, God's light can shine through, guiding us back to Him. Adam and Eve's experience serves as a testament to the enduring power of God's love and the possibility of new beginnings. Their legacy is a reminder that we are all part of God's creation, and His love for us is boundless and eternal. Remember, God loves us no matter what. His love is unconditional and everlasting. It is a love that forgives, heals, and restores. No matter the mistakes we make or the paths we take, God's love is always there, waiting for us to return. Let us hold on to this truth and live our lives in the light of His love, knowing that we are cherished and valued by our Creator. The story of Adam and Eve is a testament to this divine love, a love that transcends time and space, reaching out to each one of us with open arms.